Hey, what's up, guys? This is Andre the Commissioner, and I'm putting out a quick video just to capture my thoughts and opinions on what went down in week one of our NorCal Ballers head to head 9 Cat Fantasy League. Again, big shout out to everybody who has joined our league this year. This is season three, and what an exciting week of the NBA it has definitely been so far. In fact, as I'm filming this, I just seen James Harden has been traded to the Clippers. Yep, James Harden has agreed to a deal to trade him from the Sixers to the Clippers. Big Woj bomb at like 2 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. But we'll talk about that later. I just want to quickly go through all the matchups that just went on in week one that was over on Sunday. And I just want to see what are these matchups about, right? As you know, every week we get set up with a matchup. I played against Leon the Travelers. Mike played against Ignacio. Club Shay Shay Richie played against Don. What the Fox say? We believe Manje just played against Fairy, and Deep Core Chokers also played against Rossi. So let's see how this turned out over 1 week. Again, this is only the first week of a season-long fantasy league. I'm gonna put out this quick video. Let me see what the hell just went down. Starting with my matchup, as you can see, your boy Andre the Commissioner, aka Sir. This is a Wemby's office reference. I won 7-2. Getting a strong start to the beginning of the season. I also had a strong start at the beginning of last season, and obviously I ended up being second place in the league. So what a way to start this week one of season three, 7-2 to your boy, the commissioner himself, 7-2 over Leon's Travelers. As you can see, I won in everything but turnovers and free throw percentage. I did not realize how whack of a free throw percentage team I'm gonna be. Turns out I only shot 77%. As you can see, triple sevens. I might as well win the lottery. But I was grateful actually to have edged out Leon in 3 point made with 51 and rebounds with 219. A large reason why I was able to do that is because I streamed all five of my acquisitions in order to get 43 games played to Leon's 36. I mean, anytime I get 7 games ahead of my opponent, I better be winning some categories, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of the fantasy stats are based on games played. The more games you play, the more stats, which makes sense. So as you can see here, 51 to 48 on 3 points made, 219 to 217 on rebounds. Again, that is the deciding factor. The other categories aren't really too close. I was pretty good in assists, steals, and blocks. He's pretty good in turnovers and free throw percentage. It was a little close in field goal, but I was able to keep around the sub 40, low 40s, but closer to the mid 45 than he was. He was hovering around 39, 38. So I was able to win, I guess, comfortably on field goal. But as you scroll down here, you can see my big guns. Definitely going to give a big shout out to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis with 77, 36, 8, 5, and 8. 8 blocks in this whole first week. What a big shout out to him, man. He was going off. Yeah, he struggled against the Nuggets, but he played against the Kings most recently on Sunday, dropped 30 and 16. He also did well against the Suns. So, I mean, I'll take 77 points, but he also had 3 3-pointers, which now he's starting to do more this season, shooting that three. So I'm excited for Anthony Davis, my second round pick, to be dominating in points and rebounds. He's my lead, as you can see, my leading rebounder, which isn't really saying much. 36 rebounds across what, 3 games, 3 4 games isn't really that big of a deal. I'm pretty trash at rebounds myself. I'm lucky, like I said, to get 219, just a little bit over Leon. I was very surprised about D'Angelo Russell as well, who gave me 42, 11, and 21. Again, he's my ninth round pick. Ben Simmons again coming in through 14, 20, and 17. Harrison Barnes had that big game against the Jazz. He dropped 33, and but as you can see, ever since then he only has 51, and that's across 3 games. But I'm happy to get him with one of my last picks. Halliburton and Cunningham, big assist guys, helping me carry my assists. And as you can see, as we go to my team here, let's see where my team at. Sir, this is the Wemby's. So again, this is Basketball Monster. You can see, I mean, I got 2 first rounders currently. So this column right here is based on current rankings through today. You can see I got Anthony Davis and Tyrese Halliburton playing like first round picks, number 3, number 6 overall, respectively, in 9 cat. And then I got a lot of the mid rounds, fourth, fifth, sixth round players, pretty good in Brunson and Cunningham. If Johnson was able to play, I'd probably be getting more from him, but he's offering mid round value right now. And let's find out where Travelers is at. As you can see, compared to my rankings to his, he has a nice couple second rounders. Again, he has Tatum, Butler, and Ball. But the big one of the reasons why he wasn't able to beat me is because, well, first of all, Butler missed the game. Okay, so he sat out. Not my problem, but hey, he sat out, and LaMelo Ball was just very inefficient through the first start of the season. And DeJounte Murray, even though he's a fourth round pick, even though he's playing like a fourth rounder, he's underperforming in my opinion. I feel like he could have done better for where he was being drafted at. And Evan Mobley just started to catch fire at the end of the week, but his first couple games was a little ho hum. Okay, sitting back here, as you can see, for Evan Mobley, where was he at? Evan Mobley, 57, 30, 35, and 7. But again, a lot of that, like 30 points out of the 57, was just like one game. Also, when we look into Monday for this matchup, or Wednesday of this matchup, October 25th, you can see that there was a lot of games going on Wednesday. And so, because of that, looks like Leon had to sit Buddy Hield, Bruce Brown, Brandon Miller, and Denny Avdia. So, despite all of them playing, he missed out on like, 13 threes on the bench, 24 points from Bruce Brown. Again, a couple steals from Hield and Brown combined. I mean, he missed out. He missed out. But I mean, that's just part of the fantasy game, right? If you're gonna have a lot of players, you need to look ahead and say, okay, look, if I'm gonna have like one or two excess players in a certain day, it may make sense to stream it, right? So meaning drop that guy. If he's playing on Tuesday and today's Monday, then drop that you have a full slate Tuesday. Just go ahead and drop that guy on Tuesday, that low hanging fruit guy, and get a guy for Monday, Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Just so you can get those extra games. And I feel like I was able to execute on that and come out with the most amount of games and as many acquisitions, 43 games to his 36. Again, that's one of the main reasons I have a 77-2 advantage and won this matchup. But I will say it is really hard, and I had to work literally the waiver wire and hoping that Jimmy Butler didn't even play for at least one of the games. Another thing to note is that Jarrett Allen also was been injured this whole matchup. So luckily for me, I probably would have lost rebounds in that case if he had Jarrett Allen playing. So again, shout out to myself, 7-2. Let's move on to the next one. The next matchup is going to be Magic Mike against Ignacio. I still don't understand your name, man. You called the test, but hey, the test team versus Magic Mike. Big shout out to Magic Mike, 7-2 victory. On the onset, it looks like a slaughter, but really, is it really a slaughter? Let's find out. 160 assists, 45 steals, 28 blocks. So blocks was close, steals was relatively close. Maybe a couple more guys right there probably would have swung it. Um, Mike was dominant in points and threes, definitely points and threes. And that makes a lot of sense because that's what his team is kind of built around. He has a lot of 3-pointers, man. Tyler Hero, Desmond Bain, Jamal Murray. You even got Joel Embiid making 6 threes. As we scroll down here, Joel Embiid is his player of the week with 93, 31, 21, 3 steals, and 9 blocks on 6 threes throughout the week on over 50% shooting. Free throws are pretty crap, but we'll take that every day and twice on Sunday. Joel Embiid is a beast, and I think he's the best player across this whole stat line here. No one else has scored more than 93 points across this matchup in particular. Jalen Green and Kelly Oubre, they're some nice sorts of points despite not really big names, 57 and 53 respectively. Though Jalen Green does have 10 turnovers on 40% shooting. And Magic Mike lost the turnovers because there was a lot of guys that turned the ball over for him. Clarkson turned it over almost 10 times. Gordon Hayward almost turned it over 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 dudes, 7, 8. You have 8 guys in his whole roster that have at least 8 turnovers or more in this past week. So that's pretty terrible, but that's what they say about turnovers. Anytime you have a high turnovers, it's usually because you have high usage. You have the ball in your hands a lot. That means you probably gonna have a lot of turnovers. And that's fine, right? If that's something you want to do, you want to punt turnovers, and that's fine. I think that's what Mike is doing. He's punting turnovers, but he's really excelling in points and threes, and that really came out here 7-2. I think Ignacio can still come back. Obviously, it's only week one. 2-7, that ain't nothing. If he goes 7-2 next game, he's 9-9. Um, I will say that Trey Young really struggled from the field this past week, 26% shooting, even though he had a nice 32 assists, which I think that's the most assists in anyone in this lineup here across the whole week for between Mike and Ignacio. 32 assists. That's ridiculous. Followed by Fred VanVleet. He got 21 assists, and Joel Embiid, as for mentioned, has 21 assists. And that's what you draft Trey Young for. You knew he's going to give you 14 turnovers in a week, so that's not surprising. Zach LaVine, he went off. Remember that one 50-point game? So he went off and he had a total of 75. Not bad. But let's see how he does with his injury because it seems like he's questionable for the next game. I like Looney. Looney is like a guy that no one talks about, but he'll still get his 22 rebounds and a steal in the block. Not too bad. And then Isaiah Stewart, like he's surprising me because 43 points, 30 rebounds, like that's crazy. I mean, look at this, man. In those 3 games, he's playing a lot of minutes. He's playing 35 minutes plus. This is the guy that got bloodied up by LeBron James. Uh, Shout out to Ignacio for having Isaiah Stewart. This guy's a beast. Fred VanVleet, I don't know, man. No comments so far. I mean, he's made 8 threes, but only on 46 points. 37% shooting. I'm not really, 2 of see, look at that, 2 for 13 on the third game. I don't know, man. Hey, but if you're still trading him, let me know. I might be interested, brother. I might be interested. Um, yeah, man. Not too much else to say here. Julius Randle really struggled from the field. He had 27% throughout the first week, and again, it's not surprising that Ignacio lost field goal, despite it being pretty close, 43%, dragged down by your boy Julius Randle. And I will say that Darius Garland was injured. He only played like 32 minutes in the first game and then sat out the other 2 games. So maybe if he had more Randall, man, I mean more Garland, this probably might have been a little different story. But definitely no Garland. That kind of stinks it up. And then Mitchell did miss the third game, so I don't really feel too bad. Mitchell missed the game. Garland missed 2, and I mean it is what it is. Congrats to Mike. Let's go to the next one. Week 1. Let's go Club Shay and what the Fox say, man. This was a pretty close matchup. I was trying to keep tabs on this throughout the week, and it ends up being Club Shay Shay, aka Richie, coming out with a 5-4 victory over Don Urcia's What the Fox Say. Now, speaking of Fox, I mean, Jesus, De'Aaron Fox was a beast, okay? 94, 13, 8, 4, 2, and 8 turnovers. So remember when we talked about Joel Embiid when he had like 93 points? This man had 94 points with 13 rebounds and 18 assists and 4 steals and 2 blocks. 9 threes. Yeah, he got injured late in the game yesterday against the Lakers, which was one hell of a game by De'Aaron Fox. He dropped 37 that game. In despite the fact he rolled his ankle, as you can see, he's out for the foreseeable future. He's probably gonna be out for like a week or two. But having D Fox in the lineup for Don kept it close. Kept it close. He lost 4-5. Let's see why. Okay, let's see why. Very close on points. I mean, he's 1 20-point score away from winning points. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I think as turnovers were within 10. Anytime you're within 10, I'm gonna say that's pretty close. So turnovers and points could have been wishy-washy, but hey, Club Shay Shay, congrats to him. He pretty much dominated in free throws, dominated in field goals. So the percentages are clearly Club Shay Shay. And with that, he has enough points, 629 points. I'm interested to see how many field goals made. It doesn't say here quite clearly, but I have a feeling that Club Shay Shay had less field goals made, or sorry, less field goals attempted than what the Fox say because he had a higher percentage. So I will say, oh, steals was also very close. 4 steals difference. What the Fox say? He got that 4 steal advantage. But again, this is going to be 2 teams I think are going to be pretty much entrenched in the playoffs. I think Don and Richie both have really strong teams so far. Shea Gilgeous Alexander was a beast in the first couple games, but I know in one of his games he struggled mightily. Yeah, as you can see, he was 2 of 16 against Denver on October 29th. So that was pretty bad, but it didn't cost him the matchup because he still won 5-4. And just FYI, guys, your wins and losses and ties are based on individual categories. So if you're 5-4 today and then you win next week, say 7-2. So if you do the math, 12-6. Doncic was a beast even despite the calf strain. I mean, he was just going off. But he only played 2 games. He only played 2 games because he played on October 30th. It's already week 2. So I'll say that. I'll say if only Doncic played that one extra game, this could have been a different story because Shea played 3 games, Doncic only played 2. So I'm just saying. But it is what it is. I will say that Kyrie Irving also played 2 games, so I take that back. He has Kyrie, he has Doncic, so they both only played 2 games. But yeah, this is a very close matchup. I think these guys are pretty neck and neck. It just comes down to what positions you're talking, what categories we're talking about. But both these teams are pretty good. Congrats to Club Shea. And let's check out this real quick analysis here. Let's look at where is this guy. So starting with what the Fox say, you can see he has a couple nice second rounders. So Doncic and Mikal Bridges, they're putting up the stats for Walk the Fox say. I mean, these are rankings as of today, the moment I load this up. Sabonis is playing like a nice third rounder, and Bam Adebayo, despite being boring, is still one of his top 5 players. And surprising, Mark Williams. Mark Williams cracks the top 50. All right. So that's what the Fox say. Let's look at where um is Club Shea. There you go. The top here, Club Shea. You can say, as you can see, Club Shea, the club owner himself, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, is playing like a round 1 pick, and so is Kyrie Irving. But as you can see, he's been dealing with some injuries. He has a foot issue, so we'll see where that goes. And Kristaps, what a great opening night that he had against his former team, New York Knicks. So looks like Kristaps has been a hit so far, and he's been gelling in with the Celtics pretty well. So shout out to Richie for believing in Porzingis and in Miles Turner, who's also a top 50 player. Chet Holmgren is coming out. Remember that 7 blocks? Man, Chet Holmgren. Let's see what the blocks were. Yeah, 36 blocks by Club Shea, and 7 of those blocks were from Chet Holmgren in that one game. So congrats to Club Shea. Let's go to We Believe. And We believed and got 6-3 in over the defending champ, Fairy Top Gun. Okay, so what do we have here? So We Believe just dominated threes, excelled in points, barely edged in rebounds, completely dominated assists, and completely dominated steals. I mean, we're talking 60 steals to 32. I mean, Jesus. What do we have here from We Believe? The steals is what stood out to me because 60 to 32, I mean, you literally doubled Fairy's steals. So it's either Manji is really good at steals or Fairy's just really bad at steals. And it looks like it's a little bit of both because, first of all, Paul George leads the way with 8 steals, as you can see down here. Paul George with 82, 11, and 12 with 8 steals. No blocks and only 7 turnovers, but 9 threes. Paul George is going off right now. He is going off. As you can see in the 3 games, even one game he played less than 30 minutes and he had 5 steals in less than 30 minutes against the San Antonio Spurs in a 50-point victory. Or sorry, I can't even count, a 40-point victory. So Paul George was out there. He even has Russell Westbrook. So this guy has literally multiple Clippers on his team. And Russell Westbrook is low-key doing pretty good. And when did he draft this guy? He drafted him in the 11th round. Jesus. 11th round, and this guy's putting up 19, 8, 3, 1 and 1, 11, 5 and 13, and only 3 turnovers. I mean, I don't know where he puts him in the rankings. Let's check out where is Westbrook at? Westbrook is okay, yeah, he's round 14, so he's pretty down here on the rankings, but a lot of it's because of his free throw percentage. But if we just don't even worry about free throw percentage, like we're fine. We are fine. Um, let's see where We Believe stacks up here on Basketball Monster. You can see his top guys. Stephen Curry. We haven't even talked about this guy. This guy's single-handedly carrying fantasy teams and the Warriors to victory. I mean, remember what he did against the Kings, and remember what he did. Let's check this out. Let's check this out. Let's look at Steph Curry. Look at it. Look at this. Look at this. Forget October 30, right? So October 29, 6 of 16 for 24 points, but he had 6 3-pointers. Okay. Against Sacramento, 41 points on 7 3-pointers on 14 of 19 shooting. And then you got the one against Phoenix. Yeah, he only shot 40%, but he scored 27, 5, 1, and 1. I mean, this guy's still a beast, bro. He's still a beast. He shot 17 threes in 3 games. 17. That's like what? More than 5 threes a game. That is pretty elite for Steph Curry, and that's why Steph Curry is his number one top performer through the first week. As you can see, he's number 5 overall in fantasy, followed by Paul George. James Harden just got traded, so we're gonna see what the hell just happened with him. Now he's gonna be a Clipper. If I'm We Believe, I'm excited, man, because We Believe 163, and James Harden didn't even play, right? Because as you know, he's been chilling while the Sixers won't allow him to go on the road trip. So now he's gonna be a Clipper. I'm excited for this guy. I'm excited for Harden. I'm excited for We Believe because We Believe was one of her worst teams last year. Just saying, man. But this year could be the year for you when you have Curry, George, Harden, and LeBron is playing like he's 25 years old. I mean, LeBron James is number 34 overall on 9Cat Fantasy. And let's look at LeBron's line because he's just been a beast. Even yesterday against the Kings in that overtime loss, like, bro, like, look at this, man. Look at this dude. I mean, Jesus, man. 27, 15, and 8. 21, 8, and 9 with 2 steals and 2 blocks. 21, 8, and 5. And again, he played in more than 30 minutes in 2 of his first 3 games. Talk about minutes restriction, man. But yeah, man, I'm surprised. I thought We Believe was gonna struggle, but let's look at what Fairy's team looks like. Ooh, Fairy. I mean, Draymond Green, he barely played. He's back on Sunday, so I guess we can count him out. But he's not really one of the big pieces. Jaylen Brown struggled in his first game. So he only scored 38 points in 3 games. That's not really looking too good, but that's the first game. 13 of 24. Oh, but this is October 30. I'm sorry, guys. Forget that. Don't even look at this. The Celtics only played 2 games, so that's gonna say too with Leon when he played Tatum. That's another reason why I won because Tatum only played 2 games. Here you can see Jaylen Brown only played 2 games, and I mean he was a big piece for Fairy. Let's see about Giannis. Giannis went 49. He probably had missed a game, right? Come on. He did not miss a game. They only played 2 games. So I think a lot of this here with Giannis and Jaylen Brown missing, well, not missing, but because of the schedule where they only played 2 games, you can see why it's 6-3 in favor of We Believe. I'm not taking any credit away from We Believe, but it's safe to say that a lot of top guns, um, are just fell victim for scheduling. Like Jaylen Brown, big point scorer, only plays 2 games. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's number 4 overall pick, his first round pick, only played 2 games this week. So it totally makes sense. Draymond Green just came back from injury yesterday, so he only played 1 game. Okay. Nick Claxton, we didn't even talk about him. Claxton and Beal. I mean, Beal only played that Beal didn't even play any games, actually. I just realized Beal didn't even play any games. Claxton barely played and he got injured. He was 3 of 10 shooting. So no Claxton, no Beal. Those were his mid-round picks. Giannis only played 2 games. Jaylen Brown only played 2 games. I mean, Draymond Green only played 1 game. So all those combined. So you would say, okay, We Believe got 6-3, but Top Gun barely like had half his team like either not played due to scheduling or just not played due to injury. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, I'm gonna keep a close eye on these 2 teams. I want to see, is We Believe truly real? Like, is he for real? Is the 3rd place a fluke? I don't know, but we're about to find out. And Top Gun, I know he's gonna come back. 8th place, it sounds like a fluke to him. He's a defending champ for a reason, so we can't count him out. And don't forget John Morant, he's coming back. But congrats to We Believe. And on to our last one, we're talking about Rasik. Oh, sorry. We're talking about Rasik and Deep Court Strokers, aka Christian. A 5-4 victory, and that brought deep court strokers up to gold. As you can see right there, he was silver rated last week. Now he's now gold. Congrats to him. He edges out Rasik, who is bronze rated 5-4. Let's see how close this really was. Deep court strokers pretty much secured field goal percentage. He won by almost 3%. He barely edges out in threes. He kills the points. He beats him in rebounds, beats him in assists. So basically, 3-point made is one of those really close stats. I mean, Rasik only lost by 5 threes. That could have been easily 4-5 the other way. But kudos to deep court strokers. He had just enough in the tank. I know he's been active on the waiver wire. He probably used at least four, if not all of his waiver wire acquisitions for this week, because I've been seeing him pretty active. And even despite that though, Rasik had 44 games to his 43, despite him being active. Because guess what, Rasik is also active too, and he was picking up players as well. So with a 44 one game advantage to Rasik, yet he still lost 4-5. As we look a little closer, let's look at what's going on here. Big shout out Tyrese Maxey is 91, 20, 19, 2, 1, and 3 with 14 3-point made. And now we know James Harden is leaving. It's the Tyrese Maxey show. Like, Jesus, right? I like my boy Kyle Kuzma. Let's see how he did a little bit more closely, right? So yeah, so he played the 2 games. So it was a 2-game week for the Wizards, but he's pretty good. 21 and 13. Dude, that's why I want Kyle Kuzma, man. Let me know if I can get some Kyle Kuzma. Sochan. So what happened was deep court strokers. He ended up blowing his waiver wire priority, getting Jeremy Sochan. Not that it really matters because he was number 10, 10 in waiver wire priority anyways. But he picks up Jeremy Sochan, who yeah, pretty good first, at least for the first couple games, but really struggled in the last game. 0 of 2 on only 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal on the block. So I don't know, man, but all I know is I got the best Spurs player, Victor Wembanyama, but I was considering blowing my waiver wire party for this guy, and I'm glad I did it. Triple double for Alperen Sengun throughout the first week, not too bad from him as a Rocket, and Devin Booker. Sucks for Christian, but he had to sit out after that first game. Obviously, he destroyed the Warriors with 32, 6, 8, and 1, but ever since then, he had to sit out due to the injury, so that may have played a part in why it was so close. That's why it's 5-4. But as we look over to Rasik's team, were there any injuries? Bogdanovich was injured, but I wouldn't really call him a major injury. No, it didn't really seem like there's much of an injury here. It seems like a lot of his players are pretty healthy. Capello did pretty well with almost as many rebounds as he does points. Caldwell Pope with a damn 10 steals by himself. 10 steals by himself, my guy. That's a lot of steals. Chris Paul with 6 steals. It's easy to see why Rasik won the steals pretty easily because Kawhi, DeAndre Hunter, and Yusuf Nurkic all got at least 4 to 5 steals each. Um, yeah, not much else to say. I mean, Clay hit 10 threes over the course of the week. Chris Paul still brings in 28 assists and only 5 turnovers, so he's still considered a point god by many. And Damian Lillard, he had a great first game, but I know he definitely struggled that second game, going only 2 for 12. So he's combined 11 of 32, which isn't really impressive. That's less than 33% shooting. So besides that 39, 84 performance, he got 6 turnovers and 6 points. I mean, that was pretty bad for Damian Lillard in that second game. And could that be the difference? I mean, if Lillard just made maybe because I mean points wasn't really close, so I don't think it would have made a difference. But yeah, big shout out Deep Court Strokers for doing well, just enough to beat Rasik 5-4. As we look forward to week 2, in the fantasy league, let's see where things land as we just go through the Monday stats right now. This is Monday. As you can see here, I'm up 5-3. I'm playing against Mike, who's the second place team right now. Ferry is up 6-3 against Ignacio. What the Fox and We Believe, they're look like neck and neck, and We Believe just can't wait for James Harden to play. The Travelers, the guy that I just beat, he's playing against Deep Court Strokers right now. He's up 5-4, and Club Shea with 6-3. So up against Rasik, who's been a long time fantasy manager here in the NorCal Ballers League. And so, without further ado, I don't want to take up too much time. It's almost 30 minutes. I just been blabbing it all. Hope you guys like the video. It's just me throwing my thoughts, throwing what I'm seeing. Congrats to everybody who won week one, and I look forward to another exciting week two in the NBA and fantasy landscape. This is your boy Andre the Commissioner. Peace out.